Please don't bring me my pocketbook. Just grab them out the box. You on? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. The time is 3:08 PM. And I'm calling the Board of Estimate and Contracts into order. Clerk Bonilla, can you please read the meeting notice and do the roll? You don't have to read it now.
Regular
Not
meeting,
special.
yes.
Regular meeting. Let's roll.
Comptroller Morton is absent. Council President Brown,
Here.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Here.
Under resolutions approving ordinances, number one, Board of Water Supply, an ordinance authorizing a salary increase for the position of lead service line coordinator within the Board of Water Supply.
So move. Second.
Gotta do that.
I got a second today. Okay, on the question. Okay, hearing none, roll call.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number two, Board of Water Supply, and ordinance authorizing the increase of salary for the lead service line administrator for the Board of Water Supply.
So move. Seconded. On the question, so this goes also for number one and two. Both of these positions are paid for with a grant through the New York State Department of Health. When we first got the grant, these were new positions, as we've never had lead service administrator and a lead service division within the water department. We're making adjustments to the salary because really the positions call for that. And in the beginning, they were new positions, newly graded. But as the requirements of this work continue to increase, the certifications, the training, the level of skill in reporting, they made adjustments to even, I believe, the titles and the salaries for them to come in line with the work that they're doing. And so again, these are-funded positions. So roll call.
We'll leave the sound resolution since we have the exact figures now. That'll do in the next meeting.
Thank you.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number three, Department of Recreation, and ordinance authorizing the partnership between the City of Mount Vernon Department of Recreation and the New York Presbyterian Division of Community and Population Health for a summer youth market program.
So move. Second. On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number four, Department of Recreation, and ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a donation from the Westchester Soccer Club for a 40-foot high cube storage container for Memorial Field.
So moved. Second. On the question, again, Westchester Soccer Club is renting out Memorial Field. They need storage, and then it will also during the off season and during the season allow for us to have additional storage, and so that's why this donation is happening. Roll call.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number five, Youth Bureau, and ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Westchester Putnam Workforce Development Board for the provision of summer youth employment services.
So moved. Second. Question. Hearing none, roll call.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number six, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to retroactively enter into an agreement with Barrington Irving Technical Training School BITS for aviation industry training services funded by the Westchester Putnam Workforce Development Board from May 19th, 2025 to July 18th, 2025.
So moved. Second. On the question. Hearing none, roll call.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 7, Department of Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the annual maintenance agreement renewal with Business Electronics iRecord for interview room recording equipment used by the Department of Public Safety, July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Oh.
Ah, hello. Hello,
So moved.
Controller Martin. Second,
Good afternoon.
on the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Should I start?
Sure. Vote on it.
Controller Morton, I'm gonna take your attendance. Will you be joining us?
Sure, why not?
Liana.
We're on to number 8. Department of Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the chief of the Department of Public Safety to attend the 2025 International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference in Denver, Colorado, October 18, 2025 to October 21st, 2025.
So moved.
Second. On the question? Just on the question again, this is not being paid for out of regular budgetary funds, being paid out of 666 recovery funds, which is an eligible expense. And the International Association of Chiefs of Police conference is a conference that happens once a year, really also majorly in partnership with a Conference of Mayors. And this is an opportunity for our, while we have a commissioner, really it's the chief that oversees the day-to-day operations of the police department. And so with so many new laws, with so many rules, with so many regulations, with us having, been cited through the Department of Justice, we want to make sure that we are staying up to date on our policies, procedures, changes, as we look at more that is happening around, homegrown terrorism, threats against electeds, mass protests, all of these things, all of these issues and other critical issues are addressed at this conference. And so it is definitely a necessity for the chief to be in attendance. And it can't happen, in the tri-state because they don't hold the International and National Association of Chiefs of Police in a local venue. So with that being said, if there are nothing else on the question, roll call.
Controller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 9, Department of Assessment, an ordinance approving the cancellation of delinquent taxes and interest for the Westchester Muslim Center, Inc., located at 22 Brookfield Road, Mount Vernon, New York, 10552.
So moved.
Second.
Second. On the question?
So this is just only on the taxes that actually was done in error, correct? Not all of the taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, they are tax exempt.
I didn't hear you.
organizations.
Did you hear me?
Yes, we did. They're a tax exempt organization, correct? And one year, I guess their exemption did not go through. And so they were taxed and then there were penalties associated with that year that they were taxed. And so that is what is being forgiven is that year and whatever's associated with it.
From my
Right.
understanding.
Okay, just want to make sure the year that was done kind of in error. Yeah, okay.
Just on a side note, this is the property where we had residents come in that are adjacent to this facility. Do you remember, Clerk?
Yes.
And they were wondering if there was anything administration can do with the mosque leaders.
Well, we are speaking with the mosque leaders. I mean, the mosque leaders, we've spoken with them before and we will speak with them again because it did get much better for a while. I know they've been in their high holy season, like this is the time on your Abrahamic calendars where it's high hope season, and so they've seen increased traffic recently. And so we are working with them, and hopefully we might be able to work out something, with the new school district leadership, because, for some of the special events that they've had, we've been able to work to get parking at the high school, right? You know, and that alleviates traffic congestion and the noise pollution in the area. So hopefully, we'll be able to have a larger conversation, which brings this to a good resolve, providing relief for the neighbors, and reducing the amount of congestion and traffic in the neighborhood from parking. So we are looking at a resolution. And thank you to the neighbors, for reaching out, and thank you, to the Muslim Center, leadership for, being willing to sit down and have that conversation. They've, always been very open to that discussion. Okay, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 10, Department of Assessment and Ordinance authorizing the correction of delinquent taxes and interest fees for Tanya Hairston, 40 North 10th Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none,
So
roll
this is
call.
the same thing. This is about an error. And this one is actually for the years in which there's an error and not for everything that is owed.
Yeah, we were taxing this property as a commercial property as opposed to a residential property. So this is to correct, adjust it to the correct, pricing or assessment.
Yes. Roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 11, City Council, an ordinance authorizing the establishment of a custodial account for the property development project located at 55 Pondfield Parkway.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Okay, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
On request to authorize partial payments, Department of Public Works. Number 12, Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 13 for sewer system cleaning and televising Phase 1 to National Water Main Cleaning Company.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
And this
Hearing
one is
none.
coming from?
Hmm?
WQIP. It's part of the reimbursement and the pre-financing that we've just requested.
Okay, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye. Just to go back to number 11, is this the escrow account that's being created so that environmental studies and whatever land surveys that need to be done for this project that's before the zoning board and planning board can be done at the owner's expense?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that on the record because we'll get 20 million emails asking about it. So just wanted to confirm that. All righty, we can move on to number 13.
Okay, settlement in the lawsuit in the matter of Jacqueline Smith versus Blue Rio LLC and the city of Mount Vernon for $5,000.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Tax review settlements, number 14, resolution for tax settlement for SMQ LLC, $47,096.60.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 15, resolution for tax settlement for Praetorian Mandeville LLC, $6,341.49.
So moved.
Second,
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
That concludes the agenda.
You know, just wanted to say while we're on the record, right, because this is the board and the council, and this is the process oftentimes, well, is the process by which the city authorizes the purchase of equipment, whether it's a fleet of cars, whether it's emergency equipment for our fire department or police department. And, you know, Controller, before you came on, we were having a conversation, is that we had a very unfortunate accident happened to one of our staff today, right? And really, it's some of the equipment that we authorized here, some of the training that we authorized in this meeting, some of the grant funds that we've been able to secure, whether it was ARPA or in partnership with, you know, Assemblyman Pretlow or Jamal Bailey for Crest Equipment, that really saved a life today. So the Lucas devices that we have, which are do chest compressions, literally saved a life today. And you know, we know that the fire department got on the scene and did an amazing job. They carry that equipment on their truck. Were able to transport this individual to the hospital. The hospital called us later on and said, "Thank you, City of Mount Vernon, for investing in that equipment." That made the difference. We went into a Mount Vernon Hospital emergency room, and while they haven't broken ground on their new ED, you could absolutely see the upgrades and the improvements and some of the investments, the, you know, preliminary investments that they've made. Not just in making the ER look pretty, but the equipment that they've purchased, right? The CT scans and all of those things were able to give perfect imaging. The partnership with Empress and us doing that contract to have those 4 ambulances, right? And making sure that we have an advanced life-saving ambulance on staff. We want to thank Empress and Mr. O'Brien, their deputy chief, who came down understanding the seriousness of the incident experienced and personally brought extra equipment to transport our staff person once they were stabilized at Mount Vernon Hospital, the new Mount Vernon Hospital, we'll call it, right? And thank you to the PD, the New York Police Department, the New York Fire Department, our fire department, and everyone, because we were able to transport without incident down to Jacoby, and the surgery was successful. And we're just asking people to pray. Like the next 48 hours will be critical. But we are hopeful and we are praying. And I just want to thank all who were involved today for their role and their part. And I want to thank you. I want to thank the council. I want to thank the controller. I want to thank this board for understanding that while our city has our own financial challenges, that there are certain things that we absolutely have to invest in. And whether we are paying for it through tax dollars and sometimes criticized by paying for it through grants, the equipment's here and it's being used and it makes a difference. And so thank you. Thank you all for always researching and looking and making sure that we find ways together to make sure that our staff has the advanced training, that they have access to the equipment that they need, and that we're constantly working to build partnerships with the agencies around us to be able to do this type of work. Because today I looked at what I would say was a perfect and remarkable relay race where the baton was passed seamlessly. And we're coming across the finish line. And thank you for the community, the larger community who has been praying, and we ask that you continue to pray. So thank you. Is there anything else? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second,
Roll call?
Controller Morton,
aye.
Council President Brown,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard, 3:20.
And I wanted to just make sure I said thank you, DPW. I think I mentioned them in there, but DPW was on point as well. So thank you, everybody. Okay? Meeting is adjourned. I'll see you for the urban renewal meeting.
I probably won't be on that one,
Okay.
but all right.